let's be honest, creating content from scratch all the time is exhausting. If you've ever stared at your screen wondering what to post, you're not alone. I have done this so many times in the past. It's the pressure to create new content all the time. It can make even the most successful entrepreneurs feel like they're spinning their wheels. And when you're already juggling a business, a family, and everything else on your plate, content creation often becomes just another item on your to-do list when it used to be one of your favorite things to do in your business. But here's the good news. You don't have to start from scratch every single time. Absolutely not. Repurposing content is the strategy smart business owners use to stay visible without burning out. It's practical, intentional, and completely doable, especially when you build a system around it. Repurposing content. It's been thrown around all over the place, but what does it actually mean? Like, what are the different things that you can do to repurpose your content? It just means you're taking something that you've already created, something that you have, a blog post, a podcast episode, a video, and you just give it new life in another format. It's how you stop letting great ideas collect dust and actually start to get them in front of more people. What are the great ways that I like to repurpose content? Well, of course, turning an old blog post that I've already had that needs some updating into a podcast episode. And then converting that podcast episode that has all that new content in it into a blog post that, of course, has SEO baked into it. You have to have your search in there because no matter what, even with the AI search overviews, they're still pulling that SEO content. You're going to pull out quotes for your social media. Your content is full of your gold nugget information that you can share with other people. You're going to turn your main points into carousel posts. So each one of your posts can have its own image plus the caption to go along with it. And then you're going to pull out, of course, the gold nuggets into video short form or into audio grams or audio clips. Do you see what I mean now? How one idea can become a week's worth of content for you across all your different forms? So why repurposing works? Because this is real talk from my own business. In my early days, I shifted my services several times from BA work to a website to online business management. And now I specifically focus on content systems and repurposing content. I have a lot of old content that doesn't necessarily reflect the services that I'm offering and the things that I'm doing now. But that doesn't mean it's worthless. Actually, in fact, it's gold. I go back and refresh it to align with what I offer today and turn it into a podcast episode, emails, and posts. It saves me hours and helps me stay visible and consistent. Even if I change almost 95% of the copy that's in that blog post, it stops me from having to come up with an idea or to actually have to start. Because sometimes starting is the hardest thing to do when you are burnt out and fresh out of ideas. But how do you create a system to repurpose your content? Systems are what turns ideas into actual action. How do you set up a repeatable process for repurposing your content inside your project management tool? I use Asana, but you need to use what actually works for you. Step 1, you just want to create a repurpose list. So batch your content audit. Go through your past blogs, newsletters, or podcast episodes and list the ones that are worth refreshing. Add those links to your project management tool as future tasks. So just add that to your idea log that you have inside your project management system. And just because you have it in your idea log doesn't mean that you're going to create it. It just has a place where those can sit. So they're not in your brain and you know where to go find all of your ideas and the things that you potentially would want to refresh. I went through mine within the last week. I pulled some out that I didn't want to do anymore, that I just really did not love the content. And I redirected those posts into newer content that I've already created that was similar. So I wasn't going to be I guess, cannibalizing some of my keyword or SEO that I already had in there. Anyways, just a side note. So what's step 2 in your repurposing process? You're going to refresh the content updates and what is outdated information. Align that message with your current audience and the offers that you have. This is what makes sure your content still reflects where your business is headed. Step 3 is to repurpose it into a new form. So let's say it started as a blog, then you might want to use that main ideas as the script for your podcast. You can record and edit that podcast, transcribe it, and then turn it into a new, refreshed, SEO-friendly blog post. And then from there, you're going to break down that blog post into all your social media posts. You can use that transcript copy and you can use your blog post copy, and you can pull out those things that would be so easy to reuse into a social media post. Now, with that, you have your refreshed blog post and a new podcast episode. So I call that 2 birds with 1 stone approach. And step 4 is to share it everywhere. You want to create a social media plan to break that one piece of content into smaller pieces. Again, your carousel post, your quote graphic that you pull out of your copy or pull out of your transcript, and 1 short form video and 4 additional captions that you can either mix and match with a static graphic, or you can use it with more of a B-roll type of video and then have that audio over the top of it. And with that, you have 5 days of social content from that single episode or blog post. I want to just circle back to Google for a second and AI, because Google loves fresh content. They love fresh, helpful content. So refreshing and republishing old content isn't just about improving your SEO rankings on Google anymore. Search is expanding. Tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and even Google's own AI overviews are pulling answers from content that clearly addresses questions in a helpful, relevant way. This means your refreshed content has a chance to be found not only in the traditional search results, but also in these emerging AI platforms. And don't forget, social media is really starting to put that same searching philosophy into their software or their programs, platforms. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, platforms as well. Frequently asked questions, how to guide, and why explanations are more powerful than ever. These formats signal that your content is useful, current, and ready to serve. I was looking at some analytics from a customer today, and I was amazed at the amount of content that was getting picked up by Google AI overview, because it's actually marks when it comes up in Google AI overviews and SEMrush. When your old content reflects your current offer in your voice, you avoid confusion and you show up where your next client is already searching. Okay, friends, it's time to wrap this up. But before we go, remember this: repurposing content isn't about being lazy. It's about being smart. You've already have the hard part. You've created the content. Now it's just time to make that content work harder for you. So the next time you're tempted to just open a blank doc and start from scratch, pause and ask yourself, do I already have something that I can use? Chances are the answer is yes. And if you want help turning one piece of content into a week's worth of marketing, don't forget to check out my repurposing services or to book a mini session so we can get your system set up for you. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you, and I hope you make it a wonderful week. Yay. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.